Welcome back to the Gold Coast of Australia. Opening day of the World Surf League Championship Tour. We finished the Quicksilver Pro opening round of competition and about to finish the opening round. All Coco's new intent to really put herself in a title race this season. Sage is up now. Fun wave. Clean snap right off the roof. She's out in front for more. Fades a little cut back. See, she's running out of open face, so she's forced to fade back into the whitewater. Haven't really seen too many walls through this inside corner, and Sage will kick off her opening wave of the season putts.
You've worked really hard to get there, and then finally everything clicks on that day, and it's almost you're in disbelief. First turn, beautiful. Nice lip line float for Sage, nice and low off the bottom, and springs into action off the top, so some nice little rail work to finish this off. 4.33, so you could say that's a nice little backup at this stage. We've seen waves like that kept through the day, so very tricky conditions, a lot of paddling involved. It's not classic snapper, so you've got to be, you've got to sort of almost lower your standards, don't you?
If she's got a beach break, you know she's going to go for something crazy.
Absolutely. You see Coco there with another late drop.
And now setting up that top turn carve. The surfer from the North Shore puts the arms behind her back again, so it looks like that's a maneuver she's been ready to throw down at snapper. It's interesting with your maneuver choice, Potts. When you get to a part of the wave where it's really sloping out, you don't have a serious pocket to deal with, and what kind of carves you can really go for at that stage.
Tyler Wright put her hand up. She's got world titles now, but now Courtney, Sally, you know, we're hoping to see Sage Erickson, Coco Ho really become title contenders.
Thank you, Rosie. Catching up to Nikki Van Dijk in motion, holding priority for a long time. Essing her way through a couple of carving turns on the open face, but she's running out a bit of room. Fading a couple of hooks in the pocket, and she'll step off.
It's just competitors, and you've got to have that kind of little bit of mongrel to sort of get the juices flowing, so to speak. Nikki Van Dijk surfing incredibly well on this one. Difficult wave to ride again. Just going into the flat. So wave selection this afternoon really, really important. And you just can't afford to wait too long, Joe. I mean, you're wasting energy, you're wasting time. You're better off just catching a wave, repositioning it up behind the rock, and hopefully finding something special. You know, Sage, I mean, but all these young ladies are so nice, you know, and it's hard for them to find that aggro that's going to be the difference between winning and losing. But she's found that. She won last year, now she knows what she's got to do, and that's just catch the right waves and you know, just leave nothing out there. You know, you've got to let it all hang out. There's no more just safety surfing to get through heats now. You've got to really crank it up. Sage knows it, and Tommy Witts has given her that, you know, that Aussie attitude. I mean, you know, Aussies are fighters, you know.
It's all consecutive where world champs take over the first stop of the season, and we always kind of wonder how important is that jump start on the tour. Last year it really felt like Gilmore was going to achieve her 7th world title with the performance she threw down last season.
All right, but yeah, really stoked on the JS work I did with him over the break, and some funky new sprays, and yeah, ready to rock.
Well, we can't wait to see more. Thanks, Sally.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Sally Fitzgibbons happy to moving forward as we catch up with Coco Ho in motion. Coco trying to improve on one of her threes with this wave. Fading. Beautiful approach. Always brilliant in small conditions. Taking over the event at Newcastle. Winning a major event in her rookie season on tour. That took her to that Rookie of the Year award. One of those surfers that came on tour and changed everything. As we take another look at this wave, just needing a 391.
Bang. I mean, there it was. You know, that nice deep bottom turn, that commitment to that first turn that I was talking about earlier. Now, it's not the traditional snapper where you can actually ease into your wave and sort of use that first maneuver to set yourself up for the rest of the wave. There is no rest of the wave, so you really got to nail that first turn, and she did that.
6.0 for Coco, and the lead, especially because of that big first turn. Sage and Nikki join that winning conversation of surfers on tour that have won events. Coco got hers back in her rookie year a long time ago. As Sage will take a look at this right. A lot of intent to tear apart the open face. Hooks it real quick on the shoulder. Pushing hard out front to create something for herself down the line. And she'll try to ditch that 3-5. Showing a little bit more aggression, even though the wave didn't really pull up.
You know what? That was a smart move from Sage, as we see Nikki up and riding.
Nikki with a little fade into the pocket. Beautiful rail work for Wyndham Manley in challenging conditions. We noticed how smooth she was in transition, just like she is now with all this time on the wave at snapper. Always knows where to find the pocket, never looks forced. Nikki will get dropped off there. Still just her second wave of the matchup. You get to wear the Jeep yellow jersey heading into belts. You're the one that everybody's talking about as we watch Nikki once again.
Yeah, Nikki Van Dijk at the moment down in third spot, needing a 6.01. So not a huge score when you think about how good these young ladies are, but the conditions are super tricky. There's not a lot of vertical face out there. The rip is howling through. There's a weird sort of rib going through the face of the wave, so making things very difficult for all involved. So I'm not seeing this go into that range, that 6.01 that she's needing, but it's a backup. She's at the moment just one wave under her belt. Surfing's the only sport where really they've got to practice in amongst the crowd.
Here comes Nikki. She has a healthy quiver with Channel Islands, so she went right back to her boards and found one to throw down some magic. Nice fan off the roof of that vertical snap. So using that one well to get a big vertical snap, and she's still got a little momentum just to trim this one to the inside. Couple of threes, but pot 6.01, one major turn can make the difference now.
And then all of a sudden you're luck into a good one. We saw Carissa Moore do it, and you know, look at this one. It doesn't look like much really, does it? But it's those smaller little inside ones that seem to be hitting the bank a lot better. Now it starts to stand up, and Nikki Van Dijk capitalizes, bang, through the lip, throwing a lot of spray nice and vertical into the air. And then there's that wraparound turn. So all of a sudden, Nikki Van Dijk finding some rhythm towards the back part of the seat.
Love seeing that big snap right on the money, showing how solid she's been so far in 2018. Big win from Manly at a 6,000 level event was a great way to warm up for this one. If we break down the start, how do you like her turn selection there?
I mean, nice and smooth and clean, and there's that vertical turn. So she knew that wave was going to stand up. She was looking down the line, waiting for it, anticipating it. So the turns leading up to it, she didn't really want to commit too much to it in case obviously making a mistake and losing that rhythm. So read that wave exactly right and really connected at the most important time when it got nice and vertical through that inside.
55 on the clock pot. Sage still holding priority. Maybe we'll have a shot here. Late takeoff. Sage goes straight down to the bottom.
Wow, that was down the mine shaft, wasn't it? You know, it's that whitewater. That whitewater kind of gets shoved along the wave, and it's really easy to knock you off.
So Nikki's previous finally in pots. 5.77. She's up again. Didn't get her the lead, so now needs a 4.17. That wave didn't have too much on it.
Yeah, well, it did chip away at the lead, didn't it? But unfortunate for Nikki and Sage.
Coco throwing down a beautiful top turn. Solid heat to watch. Recovered from the fall on that first wave that she took off on and built to a 6.0. That's what got her the lead. You love when you're on the last wave with the lead and priority to shut this one down as you kick off your 2018 season with fresh goals. The wind's feeling ultra sweet for the Hawaiian as she moves on to round 3.
I'm loving it. I'm like, you know, that double where she puts her hands behind her back to do those turns. She's been working on style. She's been working on moves, obviously spending a lot of time with one of her favorite humans on the planet, Mason. That guy's a style master. So Coco Ho takes out the last heat of the day, Joe.